Hi guys, I am back as promised. Today we will really learn some C language. We will write our first coding. Yes, are you excited? I am very excited. Yes, I am excited to teach you C language. Okay, so last time we learned a little bit introduction about the programming languages. Then we decided we will start with C language. By the way, it's a beautiful evening here in Cape Town, so I decided to write the code outside in the fresh air breezes, so mind can open up for your and for mine, for everybody. Okay, so to write the code of C language we need a special software which is known as IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. Look, everything we use on the computer, most of things are softwares, right? So because you do get two types of people, those who uses the softwares and those who create the softwares. But to make a software you also need a software. So to differentiate between the two types of softwares, one, as an example, you are using MS Word. MS Word is a software that you use. Using MS Word you cannot write coding, right? MS Word or Internet Explorer or Chrome or Google Chrome, these all are just softwares, not to write the code. But the softwares we need to write the code is also software, but it needs to be differentiated between this type of software. That's why we call them IDE, Integrated Development Environment. To write the code of C language, there is lots of very famous popular development environments, IDEs. Okay, the most popular ones were Turbo C, actually it is Turbo C++, Turbo C++, and Borland C. These two were very popular. Still in today's times, in universities, colleges, professors are teaching using Turbo C++ because it is very good for educational purposes. They were built long time ago, like plus minus maybe 1970s. Unfortunately, both of them were discontinued. Now this I noticed even in my, I was passed out on 2004. I started my IT career in 1997. Those days they were already discontinued. They were discontinued on 1994. But the thing is, lots of teachers, they don't tell it. They teach the C language like if there is only one Turbo C IDE, if there is only one software that can be used to write the code of C language, which is totally wrong. There is so many integrated development environments that can be used to write the code of C language, such as Eclipse. You can write your code of the C language in Eclipse. NetBeans. Another is Visual Studio. Visual Studio Code. It is known as Visual Studio Code. Usually this is Microsoft product. Microsoft Visual Studio Code. Usually Microsoft products are not for free, but this one is for free. You can free download from Visual Studio website. Microsoft Visual Studio Code, NetBeans, Eclipse, and there is couple of more. So for some reason, lots of teachers, they don't tell. They, even my personal experience, nobody tell. They think only Turbo C++ you can use to write the code of C language. So we will also use Turbo C++, which, why? because it is very easy to use, very good for educational purposes. It is very easy to use. That's why I will also prefer C++. But I must also tell you, for professional use, try Eclipse, very nice. Try NetBeans, Microsoft Visual Studio Code. They are, besides that, it is not on my head now, there are many more also. The same company developed Turbo C++ and Boldland C. Same company developed both. The Turbo C++ was developed more for, not for professional purposes. It was more for hobby purposes. The developers, as a hobby, they wanted to write the code. But from their hobby, it turned into educational purpose. Turbo C++, from it was actually built for hobby developers, then it turned into educational purpose. Boldland C was developed for professional purposes. Sorry. It was professional purposes, but it's still both of, when I said, this is very important part, when I said that Turbo C++ and Boldland C being discontinued, it does not mean that the C language being discontinued. There is a difference. Turbo C and Boldland, what they are integrated development environments. They are IDEs, they are softwares. So only the softwares that were being used to write the code of C language being discontinued. But C as a language itself is not discontinued. It's still being used, and it will be used for so many years. Because why? It is easy and it is very powerful, very strong language, and it is used for lots of low-level purposes, such as, you will not understand now, as an example, memory management purpose. Very low-level programming softwares uses for this type of development. Okay. So this was the basic. I wanted to give you the concept. Why I am telling you this? I am telling you this just to clear your mind. Just to clear your mind that if somebody tells you you can only write the code of C language in Turbo C++, which is wrong. I just wanted to give you the knowledge. But when I was a student, nobody tell me. Nobody tell us. That's why I tell you, please share my videos. Don't be stingy to share, please, please. If you like my video, share the video. Spread the knowledge. Spread the knowledge is very good. As an example, nobody told us until recently. I didn't know. I thought, okay, if you need to write the code of C language, you need Turbo C++. I didn't know. Recently in my research, I came to know, oh, there is on the NetBeans you can write code, Eclipse you can write C++. However, there will be different style of code. The core base language will be same, C language, but the syntax will be a little bit different. But that's why we will start with Turbo C++ to make your foundation very strong. I will not try to directly jump you on difficult things. Why? One of my friend's father once told me, Nadir, doesn't matter how big is the tree. Doesn't matter how big is the tree. If the roots are weak, it will fall. You understand what I'm trying to say? So what I'm trying to say is your foundation, your basics has to be very strong and powerful. So don't try jump directly into very difficult things. You will just mess up. Try to make your basics very strong, and then you can adapt any technology. Guaranteed. Guys, keep watching this video. I promise you, you will make your own software. You will be a software programmer after watching this video. You will make your first software program. And if you keep watching, one day, I promise you guys, one day people will tell you champion, king, code guru. You will be known as Houdini. You will be known as king of the coding. Keep watching my video, I will turn you into. Well, nobody calls me king because I try to be a king maker. I don't have to be a king. I'm just joking, guys. Okay, guys, so let's continue. You guys can drink some water, huh? Be fresh while I'm busy rubbing the board. All right. So, task number 1, what we will do? We will have to download and install Turbo C++. So, go to google.com, download, search for Turbo C++ download. You will get lots of websites that offers you free download. You can download for free. After download, install Turbo C++. After install, open it, and then you are ready to write your first program. If you will have any difficulty in downloading and installing Turbo C++, no problem, don't worry. Just leave the comments. Leave the comments. How will I know if you're having problems? Only if you leave the comments under the video. Then I will make a new video. On the video, I will record my screen and I will show you how to install Turbo C++, how to download Turbo C++, how to open Turbo C++, how to launch the software to be able to write your first program. I will show you everything on the video, on the next video, if I will get comments that you are having difficulty. But I don't have to make a video for that. If simply you can go to google.com, search for Turbo C++ download it. After download is done, extract the zip file, run the setup installer. After setup is done, next, leave all the default settings. After everything done, then launch the software, Turbo C++. It will be open and ready to write the code. So for now, I'm directly jumping to our first program. Guys, aren't you excited? We are going to write our first software program. Yes, guys, yes, you are going to be a C champ, C programmer. And once you are solid, strong on C language, you can learn any programming language very easily. Let's do it. I'm writing the code now. Your first code. include space bracket stdio.h and then close it, and then again next line hash include conio.h. Okay, so first line is include stdio.h. What is stdio.h and what we are including here? Remember, I told you C is all about functions. C has lots of functions. So when they built the C language, they created lots of functions for different purposes. And then they put all those functions programming into header files. So H means header. So we are including, in this first line, we are including a header file, and the name of that header file is stdio. stdio stands for standard input output. Then, so this file has lots of functions which we will use on our code. So C is a high level language, which means, remember we were discussing high level and low level. So as an example, on assembly language or on machine language had to write very long code. So here, that as an example, to print the name, So in C language we can print our name on the screen by using only one line of code, only one code. But behind that one line of code is functions. That functions are written inside that include file. That functions has lots of code, which we don't have to write that code. So that makes our life very easy for a programmer life. You understand what I mean? Okay. So then we hash include, we are including a header file conio, which also has lots of functions that we might use. Then this is our first program. Void main void, then I will write a line, void main void, I will open the braces, I will close the braces. Here void means, before I start with the void, I will start with main. What is the main? Main is when we will run our program, when we need to write our code, and then every programming needs to have a starting point. So here main means the first entry point of the program. It is first entry point of the program. So every time you will write a C language, C code, every time you will write a program in C language, you will need a function known as main, which will be the first entry point. Okay. After that, this is the open braces, this is the closed braces. So this is the first entry point. It starts from here and ends here. Here void means a void. We write here void. Okay. Not necessary, we can write something else. As we process in next classes, I will teach you what else we can write. For now, I am starting with void. Void means it will avoid to return anything out from the program. For example, in easy words, as a security, nothing can go out of the program. To avoid security breach, as an example, that your code is safe inside main, nothing can go out. So it is avoiding here. Nothing, no any values, no any numbers can go out. Okay. This void also means avoid. What it will avoid? It will lock the program, that nothing can come inside the program. Nothing can come inside the program. Okay. So main is the first entry point that it will start. This void will not let any, as an example, a hacking attempt. Okay. As an example, a hacking attempt. So just giving you an example, it is not the case here. Just giving an example to make you understand. So what hackers do? Hackers send something to your program. So here void is avoiding to receive anything. So nothing, this program cannot receive anything. And here this void means cannot go out anything. Whatever you write the code inside is locked inside. Okay. So now we will write printf, printf, hello, and semicolon. So what this will do? Printf is a function. This function has a long code, very long code. Where this function is? In stdio.h. In this file, this function is. So now do you understand why did we include stdio.h? Because we wanted to use printf. Why we using printf? Because we want to write our name, hello. So in Turbo C++, you will press Control CTRL, Control plus F9. Control plus F9 will compile the code. What compiling does? It will translate our code into 1 0. So computer can understand what you're trying to do. So after you will press Control F9 or F5, lots of ways. It will compile the code. It will first check for any errors. If there is no errors, then it will translate into 1 0s, and then it will display the result on the screen. That will be hello. So as an example, this is computer screen. In the start, it will be written hello. Yes. But it will start and finish so quickly that you will not even understand. Like program will open, and because computer is so fast, program will enter into here, read printf hello, okay, fine, display the name, and then it will go away. It will exit. So that's why we include conio.h. Why? Because we want to use this another function, get che. What get che does? It tells the program you are giving. See, what is programming language? In programming language, you give instructions to computer. So here on get che, you are giving instruction to the programmer to wait for a key press. So now, next time if you press Control F9 to run the program, it will show you hello. It will not go away. It will wait for a key press. Why it will wait for a key press? Because of getChe function. Okay guys, it's getting dark here, so I think I should not be continuing now. You will not be able to read anything. So if any difficulty in today's class, leave your comments, then I will clear all the questions into the next video. Have a good evening. Thank you so much. Enjoy.